the other thing, right, is a lot of these are, let's say, what we've seen, which is wrong with others, which does make actually the task of coming up with a solution not as easy, because you can see where others fall down, but the path to enlightenment isn't clear. The path to the best option isn't clear to us, because there are conflicts, and there are contradictions in what these groups want. So, I mean, one of the other things, I suppose, that, I was thinking when you put what the different groups looking for, I think, maybe a bit old hat, but to look at the profile of who are in these groups now as well. If you go back sort of, we've been trying to do a portal for 15, 20 years, right? When we launched Mantra, not long after that, we launched Mantra Web. And before that, NTAS had ETAS. I mean, everybody wanted a portal, and it got even less uptake at the time. And it was definitely in the admin space of just being, this is a sales tool, not ever to be pulled out of the box, but like, we need to put it on the RFI or the RFP, because, investment managers were, old school investment managers, and they had no real interest in a web sales pitch, right? That wasn't what they were selling. The investors were probably predominantly institutional, high net worth individuals who, again, were, I'm focusing really on our core market here, which is the sort of the hedge fund, the alternatives in the PE world. And they probably weren't used to a digital experience, a web presence. But clearly now we find that, everybody's on Facebook, right? Everybody has a position on wanting to see things online. So the younger people, sort of that idea of transparency and wanting stuff now has changed, because the profile of investment managers, they're younger people, right? They've grown up in an internet environment, and equally the investors have grown up in an internet environment. So their needs are actually quite different, or their expectations are quite different from even 15 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe. Everybody's still sort of trying to jockey to find out what that experience is. And I'm not giving you an answer. I'm just saying that's how you see it. We have literally been trying to solve this since ETAS came out in 2001, 2002, and it's always had that poor uptake. It's always sort of been the checkbox on the RFP. But I think there is a real change because of the profile of those people now involved in the business. And I say that may be a bit old hat, because that's what we always talk about. And I'm not talking about sort of snowflakes and or the sort of generational things. It's just that people clearly do have, I think, there is a different cohort in our world now that have different expectations, and I say but we're still not really solving it for them, or anybody's really solving it for them, as Tom said. And and I think obviously breaking it down into those three groups certainly helped, because you do realise they've got different needs, different expectations, different wants. So I didn't really answer anything there, but I'm just putting my 2 pence in.
I think we do have to discuss it like that. It actually hasn't really been solved by anyone, and I suppose we don't want to call out competitors really. But I think it's fair to say that there's a push, but no one's landed their perfect.
I might actually say, so part of what actually is driving our move to this, and again, with respect to what you said earlier, this isn't a brochure, but part of what's driving ours actually certainly on the Mantra side, but we've got a general push across the HWM group of this, and it's similar decision making. So I mean, JP Morgan came to us, and we thought we had a pretty decent run at it, right? We thought we had a decent portal. Most of our clients generally liked it. And they actually, for the first time, said they were losing business because the digital experience they were offering wasn't as good as the competitors. So for an admin, there is clearly a market advantage by having an apparent solution. And I say, Tom's come exactly from that space, and he'll tell you that, the reality doesn't necessarily, match the magic there, but they're saying that, so JP Morgan are selling into fund managers, and fund managers saying, can your portal do this, and this? And they're saying, because we couldn't do it, we lost business. So we checked, we're the biggest bank in the world, we're the most stable bank in the world, we've got a great brokerage, we've got great cash management, we've got great lending facilities, got all that stuff behind us. But you know what? In real instances, their admin business didn't win business because they didn't have the right portal. Now, so that gives you an idea of why admins want the solution. But Tom will give you the reality that, they don't always deliver, but the appearance of delivery is often the most important factor. I think we said it's just a sales pitch, right? It's a sales tool for an admin. So again, quite a different expectation on what the tool delivers or appears to deliver. You might say, great, I can deliver all this information, and managers sign up on the dotted line when they take the admin on. But the reality might be that then they back down and go, well, I don't want it to be too transparent, right? Yeah. I don't actually want to give everything away just yet. I want to manage the content. I mean, just as we are, right? We're working on the website and we're managing the content that people see. We're managing what we publish. I mean, it's not dissimilar that clearly the consumer wants everything, right? They want to know, they want it to be straight through, see everything they've got. But there's still and the manager and the admin is promoting that model, and that's what gets the manager over the line. But the reality is actually that's not really what they want to see. So there is sort of contradictions, conflicts in what they think they want and what they're willing to make a decision on, but what they actually want to deliver might be something different. And because it's just it's a competitive world, and we have gated content, right? That's the same idea, isn't it? Is that do you gate some of what you actually give away? Say, do you want to give away all your return dynamics? Certainly, you don't necessarily. And things are changing. I accept that, but as Tom had mentioned there, we've seen in previous instances where clients didn't like this idea of a kind of marketplace where if I'm big hedge fund, I don't necessarily want my investors to go onto that same site and be able to run a graph that says, I've returned, 3% over the last 5 years. And look, this other investment just happens to be at the same admin has returned, annualized growth of 15. That's not good for my business. But I mean, they're sophisticated investors as well, though. So you hope there's some other reasoning behind it. But that kind of transparency isn't always in the best interest of all the parties. Although that might be when you're going through that RFP, that might be what you actually want to promote, that you've got that transparency.
Yeah, I think that's a key. I think actually that's one thing we can really use in the white paper is the ability to display, or I suppose maybe there's a good way of putting it around transparency of data, but that to actually carry it out is another thing. And an investment manager certainly, and an admin, will want to control that. Just as David explained there, you can imagine how easy it is for an investor to change a position in what they're invested in because they're already onboarded, and the administrator can literally take an order once they're on their platform. It cuts KYC and any effort like that, AML down significantly. And although they are educated and experienced